There's nothing better than young people ticked off. Now, I'm not saying they're ticked off with the President of the United States. They are ticked off because on paper they're a lot poorer after today and what has been a rocky week from our highs, if you think about it, a few weeks ago. A lot of it on this ongoing trade war. Let's get the read from our Gen Hexers, including Fox News contributor Katherine Timpf, Your World audio tech sensation Dion Baia, author and entrepreneur Michael Parrish Dudell, and the Wall Street Journal's Jillian Melchior. Jillian, do you worry when you see something like this that you can't get ahead?
It's not great. I do think millennials are used to market volatility, maybe more so than other generations.
But I thought you stayed out of the market.
Most of us do. A lot of us are in cryptocurrency. That seems to be where my friends are investing.
Really?
Yeah, they're freaked out by it.
You just went to bars.
They're freaked out when we do that too.
Okay,
avocado toast. But yeah, I think this trade war, I'm more concerned about its long-term effects on the economy and how it's going to limit opportunities. And for poor millennials, it's going to make consumer goods a lot more expensive.
Right. Yeah, I don't think anybody it's not even on their peripheral. They don't even know until it physically hurts them. They're not going to really, it's not going to affect them day to day.
But what do you think of what President Trump is saying? You know, whatever you might think of my approach, the Chinese have been taking us to the cleaners on this for decades, through Republican and Democratic presidents. And I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to be different.
I think people care more about what's going on with their own pocketbooks. I think people care more about the things.
But longer term,
he's
saying, I think, that this will be better for your pocketbook. And Dion's as well.
People don't think long term. People say this used to cost this much and now it costs this much. This is bad news and I don't like it.
That's exactly right. And I think a lot of millennials don't actually see this happening right now. We talk a lot about this pending potential trade war. You're not seeing millennials get involved and really talk about this.
What about tit for tat? What about if someone is cheating you at something? Then it's acknowledged that the Chinese do. What do you think about going right back at them?
Yeah, something has
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, something has to be done, that's for sure.
Do you agree with what the Trump administration is trying to do?
I think this is fighting fire with shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, look, I think millennials are insulated from this in a way that I think Trump voters aren't. We're not super exposed to the market, even if we spend money.
We're super exposed to those soybeans and corn and wheat and bacon prices.
But I do think this is going to hit.
It's a tax on the American consumer.
But I also think that it's being painted a certain way to millennials, how they disseminate and get their news from, that they may not be listening to Trump directly, but through aggregates. And then by that way, they're like, you know.
Well, you don't have to listen to the president to see the Dow down almost 6%.
I don't think a lot of millennials are even looking at
You don't see that as, geez, I've heard mom and dad are freaking out about this.
No, I don't think it's, I think they're very more fixed on the instant gratification.
Are you drunk?
I'm drunk.
All right.
You also have to remember we live in an age of the freaked out. So people are freaked out every day about everything all the time.
I've never seen you freaked out.
I try to remain cool, calm, and collected because we're on TV, but the second I walk out there, everyone hates me. The point is that we live in this era where everything is breaking news, everything's bad, everything's happening in real time. The younger you are, the more connected you are, the more you see that. And so something like this, yeah, we see it, we don't like it, but
you do get desensitized to it.
You get desensitized.
Well, how do you feel that, just speaking generically, the president is handling this? A lot of people are saying, oh, you're starting a trade war and all that, not realizing a lot of times it's news to a lot of people of all ages that the Chinese have been rigging the system, whether this is the way to go about it.
Is that news to us, or they?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think.
By the way, I'm asking the question. Is it news to you that they've been rigging this thing?
No, I just think no one's ever.
So what do you think of the president doing this?
I think that tariffs are taxes, and I'm not a fan of a new tax on the consumer. We're going to have to pay for it, so I'm definitely not a fan of it.
Well, what if it gets the Chinese to come to the table and stop cheating?
I don't think it will. It's escalating. That's not what's happened. They've been hitting us back, and then we're going to hit them back. It's not going to work. The prices are going to keep getting higher, and the mark's going to keep going down.
But everything's been proposed. Nothing's been implemented.
Understood.
So we have that 60-day window. So hopefully things will settle down.
By the way, you don't have to wait for tariffs to see the effect clearly on the market so far, or to see it in futures trading, where a lot of this stuff.
I think once it hits the pocketbook, it starts, on our subscriptions, whatever we buy, the stuff that the millennials.
Well, let me switch around that and ask you a little bit more general about
subscriptions.
I understand. Yeah, you can't even afford that.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't even know what it is.
But let me get your take, guys, on the president, because Roseanne's, modern show now out is off the charts ratings, and it's known for taking a different view of the president, a favorable view of the president, and it's on fire. What do you guys think of it?
I think what it does is it spotlights the kind of tension that we see in households across America. That is why people are watching it. Even though we might be in the same family with someone, these days we are more divided than ever. I think that show gives us some sort of, I don't know, it makes us feel like we're not so strange that maybe we're at odds.
It's genuinely funny. The writing is really good. I love it. I haven't missed an episode.
Really?
I'm not afraid to admit that.
But it you think it's telling show producers, go ahead and risk going there, saying something nice about Donald Trump?
Well, there's a huge market that's untapped. I mean, Hollywood has neglected middle America. It's neglected political conservatives. And in doing so, I think a lot of times it's turned away their money.
Yeah.
This is showing that they can make money off of it.
It has two things going for it. It has an inherent audience that was with it 20, 30 years ago. And then now coming back, it is going after that underdog
But is it
audience.
a sign that there's more support or at least favorable views toward the president than has been credited?
Yeah, there's 50% of America that are not being tapped.
So should other shows follow up on that?
I think they should realize that they shouldn't be as polarizing in their views and disregard a complete like the
There's
arrow.
this Hollywood bubble where they only hang out with people who don't support Trump, so they think that nobody in the world.
But I think Hollywood bubble or no, you want to just have a good laugh, right?
You did, and I think that authenticity matters. More Americans want that, and we see that with Roseanne. We feel that with the show, and so people are watching.
Fair enough. Guys, I want to thank you all very, very much. We're going to be exploring this phenomenon with the president and everything else, and whether he's leading us to a trade war or something that could be very, very favorable. 10 a.m. tomorrow to noon on Fox News. We'll see you then. The 5 is next.